Tuesday means. Tuesday means strange conversations. You know it. Let's get the chat filter up. Awesome. There we go. How is everyone? It's Tuesday. You guys, I've been going back and forth between coffee and iced and tea. Like, you know, like we have people in here that are from across the pond or on an island and they prefer tea. And I'm trying to figure it out. Like, why? Why do you prefer tea? I don't know. It's a little thing I have going on in my head. I'm not sure. And yes, we are vertical today. So it's subscriber only mode. Oh, look at this fan. But how is everyone? Yo, Ambrose, what's up? Ambrose, you changed your little thing. Now it says 9. What is that? Hey, Mike Beachman. So, question is, do we go get an iced tea? Do we go get a coffee? I don't know. Maybe we go get a coffee. Maybe we do both. I don't know. Good morning, J-Ro. But yeah, we're going to have a little strange conversation. Have anybody here, like as the topic said, hi, Sandy Moonstone. Shalom, shalom. How are you? I have it set. Let's flip you guys around. Hey, Lisa. D. Johns, how are you? I know, I've been debating, do I walk this way or do I walk that way? I don't know. I'm a little torn. I'm just a little bit torn. Daniela, how are you? We have kind of like overcast skies. I don't know if it rained, but everything seems wet. Maybe it rained. But my question I pose to everybody, good morning, Jolie, is do you read or like advice columns? Do you listen to people who do blogs, vlogs, whatever you want to call it, create content? Like, what do you even call it anymore? Nobody calls it really a vlog. Do not like them. Thank you so much, Robert West. That was super kind of you. What's up with you? Thank you for the $5 super chat. Honk, honk. I'd grab it out of my bag, but it would cause me to do a lot of stuff here. I do not like them. I read them just in case there's something interesting. There never is. I like funny ones. I like drama ones. I don't like ones. And this is, like, it better be pretty succinct. Don't go into some in-depth thing of blah, 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 blah. Just give it straight. Like, you know what I mean? Like, some people go into huge things and stuff. And I guess they used to be much more prominent. What was that one? Why did you hide Jolisa? Ambrose, you got some fat fingers there. I used to read Dear Abby and Ann Landers every day. I know, a lot of us did. Good morning, Tintin. Right? There would be lots of them. Some of them would pertain, some of them would not. Okay, here's the question. Do we go get coffee at the coffee shop? Hi, Hassan, how are you? Some are humorous, right? I'm feeling good. It's a little bright. I didn't bring my sunglasses. You know, do we go this way? Do we go get a nice tea? Do we get a coffee at the Broadway place? I don't know. Not really feeling like coffee. Even though I do like the little sit-down area, I'm not really feeling like that. I don't know. We'll see. Good morning, Tanya. Hello, everyone. Yes. Let's go. But yeah, that's my question I pose to everybody. Is like, do you read them? Do you follow certain, what do they call them? Like subjects on Reddit? Are there rooms you follow? What's the wildest one you hear? Because like the funny thing is, the reason this comes up is because this morning, as you know, I go through my emails, typical, right? And as I'm kind of going through them, I see the newsletter from our local online area newspaper, our neighborhood newspaper online, the West Side Rag. Who else is? Hey, Tanya. So I was looking at that, and they have started a column. Now, I don't know if it started, if it's been going. I've never seen it before. Okay? Never seen it before. So I'm kind of like, huh. And it's like an advice column. So I did copy those down. I have another phone with me so we can read them together. We can all chime in on what advice we would give these people. Okay? But I kind of like that idea because you know what? Here's the thing. I completely forgot about them. I forgot about advice columns. And now I remember because I saw it in the newsletter, the paper. And it's kind of one of those things that I think is going by the way of the dodo bird because print is gone. You know, I can give man advice. Hi, Taconic boy. How are you? I give great birthday advice. Do you? I should say, should I wear this? This morning, I'm like going, I'm so torn, like what to wear as a shirt. Because it's going to be a little warm, but not really. I'm still wanting to feel the fall vibes. Okay. So there's Buttercup, Silver Moon Buttercup over there. They have the dry ass cookies. I can't eat the dry ass cookie. Why? Because it's dry. And it tastes like ass. Hi, Picard. Hey, Brian. And like, I guess a question would be, who would you... Maybe we should get something here at Zelma's. Maybe we should try Zelma's and see if we can sit here. We'll do this, okay? Okay, let me flip you guys around so you're on me. All right? We'll get a coffee or a tea or something. Let's do that. All right.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Oh, you do have tea. Do you have iced tea?
We have black and green.
Yeah, black and green right now. All right, let's just do a large iced latte. Okay, with, do you have heavy cream? Or half? That's fine. Yes. Okay, so I got a nice latte. We're gonna go sit outside. They do have Splenda. Oh, thank you so much. Let's grab a napkin because I'm a messy, you know what. You know, and some people, this shirt inspires anger. Some people, this inspires anger. Why? I don't know. But they get it twisted. All right, so this is where we're going to go sit, guys, in the corner. We're putting Angie in the corner. We're going to put Angie in the corner. All right, we'd never go here. But we are today. Let's flip you guys back around. Okay. Where did I didn't buy it. That's the funniest thing. I love that. When did I buy? Where did I buy it? I didn't buy it. YouTube sent it to me because I'm a content creator. You know, like a contractor. That's kind of like sort of being employed by them. I get paid by them. I get tax statements from them. Yeah. So for those that say, for those out there that seem to get twisted about what other people wear, that's where it's from. It's not from Champion, it's from YouTube. They send me stuff. They send me their swag, okay? They say, hey, thanks for taking part in this. Thanks, we'd love to talk to you and have you guys do this and this and this. I swear to God, people love to speak what they don't know. Yeah, he pays everybody. YouTube pays everybody. Everybody that creates content, regardless if you are whatever and whatever and whatever. I swear to God. Makes people bananas. You know what? I can't wait till I can wear the hat that goes with it. Because now, you know, I got a hat last year. And if everybody can't understand the tongue-in-cheekness of my channel, then move along. But, you know, I got a winter hat, too, that has a YouTube logo. It's not like you can go into a YouTube store and buy it. But anyway, I digress. All right, so we put a little Splenda in there because I need it. I need a little bit of that. Mixy. It's a little light. Didn't cost very much. Oh, it tastes good though. I will say it tastes good. But this back, I'm trying to be very nice and neat so I don't spill it. And we have a plastic straw. You bought yours at Kohl's? Well, Ambrose, shh, don't tell nobody. I swear to God. That kind of hits. It kind of hits today. I tried doing an iced tea. It wasn't hitting. It just wasn't. I tried. I made it. I tried different things in it. It couldn't handle it. It was not good. It was horrific. It was horrific. I'm just going to tell you. It was horrific. So we're in a new location today. We're going to try Zelma's. Let me get, by the way, my 2 library books. Yeah, they're overdue. Don't tell them. They know. They already sent me a notice saying, Ange, you have library books that are overdue now. Why did you not return them? Because I'm lazy. And because I thought I would actually read them more when I was on the trip. And I didn't. So, I don't know. So now I have to return the 2 books. I'm probably going to have to pay a fine, I guess. I don't know what that is. I read 3/4, maybe, of one book, and I didn't read the other. I was very ambitious. Tomorrow back to drinking coffee for you? Really? Hi, Liz. Listen, Christopher, that's okay. Like, I'll go without, but then I'm like, why? Why am I going without the coffee? Lisa, it's just a new thing that I'm starting up, trying to go to the library. I know, I'm going to make Detective Bookman come after me. It's like a Seinfeld episode, swear to God. $1 million fine. Probably. But, you know, I got it for free. Now I have to return it and pay. It's because I kept thinking I was going to read it, and then it got on the shelf, and then it sat there at the end of the bed, and then I took it on every, I'm going to tell you, I took it on every cruise. I went on the Virgin cruise, and then it went on the Carnival cruise, and neither of them got read. Yeah, I tried to give up coffee, and I was down to like 1 cup a day, which I could do. I'm fine with, but sometimes it just tastes nice. Like, this just tastes nice right now. And I know it's like coffee flavored half and half or whatever with ice, but it actually has a nice taste, so I can't. I was too busy to read. And then either that or I was too drunk because I needed to sleep. Look, they're putting up scaffolding across the street. For real. All right, let's get into this. So like I was saying, I was thinking about this because this morning, what book? Okay, these are the books I had. I'll show you because we'll do this before because more people will pop in. So these are the 2 books I got. I didn't buy. I picked up from the library. This is the Stephen King one. Okay. If It Bleeds. If It Bleeds. Now, okay, so basically, I got halfway. And then I got this one, which is part of the Crazy Rich Asian series. So, by Kevin Kwan. I got to the part where I was looking at the family tree, and that's as far as I got in that book. I didn't even read the first paragraph, so I feel kind of stupid, but I want to get it again. Because actually I do want to read it, and I kind of, maybe they'll let me redo them. So I'm going to take them with me to the library and see if I can, what do you call that? Check them out again, maybe. I don't know. I tried. Hi, Octavia. How are you? You love iced coffee? So do I. Hi, Phyllis. Good to see you. So, yeah. I didn't read them. Not thoroughly. So I still have, like, the other half. You don't know that language? What is it? I don't know. You can renew them. Our library does it. I know, but I'm, like, late by, like, 2 weeks. So then I would check it out for another 2 weeks. But I'm going to try. I'm going to see, Jolie. I think they'll let me check it out. Who's running for them? I think the person that was sitting here is done listening to me talk. Okay. All right. Back to the subject. So anyway, like I said, I looked at the newsletter, the newspaper, I don't know what it's called anymore online, the West Side Rag. Got a notification. They said that they now have a column. Now, I don't know if this is going to be a trending thing, if it's going to be something that's happening. God damn, it's noisy out here. From a pissy day here in Northern, is it really? Or isn't it always like that, though, at this time of year for you guys? But I don't know if it's going to be a ongoing column, if it's weekly, if it's monthly, if it's just a random column. Because I'm like, how do you solicit questions to answer? How do you solicit the advice questions if it's going to be random? Do you know what I mean? I don't know. You like my hair today? It's called I washed it last night and put it up. David Kennedy, good afternoon. So, this is what they call the column. You guys are going to crack up at it because it's kind of funny. The column is called The Ruthless. It's probably backwards. Maybe I have to flip this around and I can show it to you. Okay. It's called The Ruthless Advice Column. Come on. And even the graphics are so cheese that I can't. It's so funny, right? The Ruthless Advice Column. Okay. I thought that was funny. And right away, I was all in. Like, totally in. Right? It's totally funny. Now, come on. You want ruthless advice. That's the thing. I don't want this advice that's going to be like, well, you should do this and then do this and then make a list and then reach out. And it looks like a comic. Right. It totally does. Hi, RJ. I don't like those. Like some of them, like other ones I saw, because I looked up, then I went down the, you know me, Google, and I go, best advice columns. They give me one from the Washington Post. They give me one from over here. They give me one from over to this thing. And I'm like, these all seem like really long-winded. You like it, Teresa? So do I. Seem really long-winded, and I don't like that. Like, do we really want to go into it all? Like, I'm talking, they were freaking paragraphs. Like, all I thought is, like, did you only get one question and then you had to make your word count for the paper? Because that's what happens, because you have so much space and that you had to fill. And it looked like an old Batman graphic. It kind of does look like a Batman graphic, right? It really, really does. So I don't like it when they get so long-winded that it's like the advice is like 4 or 5 paragraphs long. It's like, come on, man. And if it takes you more than a couple of paragraphs to explain your question or your problem or your dilemma, then you need to go see a counselor. You know what I mean? If you got to go and all of a sudden it's like your thing is going to take it's like an essay. It's like look at now we got beer coming in. Where's the beer going? Oh, it's probably getting delivered to the store. If it takes that long, it's crazy. Hey, LadyWiser, how you doing? Okay, so you guys ready? We're gonna read these because they had like 4 or 5 questions, and there's answers, and then we're gonna discuss. So. Am I frozen now? Am I better? Let me know. Back, okay. Let me know if it freezes or something. I'm just sitting outside, so it should be perfectly fine. Hey, Fafo. Sorry about that. Don't know why it was buffering. I couldn't tell you. I gotta get my thing up here. Okay. It froze for a little. Yeah, sometimes it happens. Okay, you guys ready? First question. Hey, Ronnie. Okay, dear Ruthless, every time I go out with a friend, she insists on splitting the Venmo to the nickel, meaning not in half, but exactly who ate or drank what. It seems inelegant. Do I say something signed nickel and dimed? Nickel and dimed. It seems inelegant. Let's not be inelegant. God forbid we're inelegant. Good God. Now, this is written and responded by 2 people, okay? The thing is, the Ruthless advice is from Karen and Cindy, okay? So Karen and Cindy are giving the advice. Karen says, you're right, splitting the bill to the nickel is inelegant, but nothing about Venmo screams style. People are weird about money. They want to feel like they're being fair and that they're being treated fairly in return. And if you want to feel less icky, you can lightly reframe it. Suggest alternating who picks up the check, or just say, I'll get this one, you get the next. It spares you the accounting and it reassures her she isn't being taken advantage of. You watched a YouTube video all about that. It was hysterical. Really? RFD. It's my money and I wanted them now. Of course not, right? That was from Karen. She says maybe you can talk to her about it and says we can switch it up. I got a thought on that. We're going to put a pin in that one. Next, Cindy says, your friend may be on a budget you know nothing about and is making food and drink choices based on that. I would split the bill as she requests with a smile and give her some grace. As someone who doesn't drink much with meals, splitting a check evenly when your pal regularly has a bottle of wine to themselves doesn't feel that elegant to me. Good morning, Chris. And that's what Cindy said. I remember Irma. Oh, yeah, Irma Baumbach. Yeah, Irma was great. She's fun. She was funny as hell. Her books were amazing. But, okay, let's discuss. When you go out with friends, then this is a very pertinent thing. It happens all the time. Now that we have Cash App and Zelle and Venmo and all of those things, PayPal, all that crap. Personally, Cash App. Okay, here we are. It's much easier, I think, now to send each other money for stuff. Let me know if we're still here. My advice, you know what? Lisa UK. I had a person, like, that actually came up. That was their advice. Don't go out with friends, you'll save money. Don't go have friends. Their advice actually was not to have friends or go out with people or do things with stuff like that because you'd save money. That's insane to me. Fafo says, I carry cash. There you go. Keep it simple. There you go. Ambrose says, I say find her political stance, unfriend her, and then you can be stress-free. Oh my God. Ambrose, you're ridiculous. RFD, cut separate checks, avoid the issue. It was frozen here. I didn't hear what you said. Oh, gotta roll back. Okay, ask the waiter for separate checks at the beginning. Jeffrey Williams says, I was a server for many years, asked for split check from the start by person, not half and half. Exactly. See, now I don't understand why this is even an issue anymore. But you know what? There are people out there that don't like to do separate checks. Usually, I find those that don't like to do separate checks are ones who freely order whatever they want. And then when the bill comes, they kind of expect to just either split it or they're going to hand you a 20 and the bill's 50. You know what I mean? I actually do separate checks. I will, and I think most people will know this, I will sit down and say, is it possible that we can do separate checks? Now, if you're in a large group, it's almost impossible to do that. They don't like it. I think the people that want to split by half are ordering drinks. Exactly, Red Gal. And that's my thing too. And why are you so worried if it's down to the nickel? If it's down to the nickel or the penny, you know, it's not that she's asking you to pay any more. So honestly, she's making sure that you're not taken advantage of. That's my opinion. When you're complaining about it, I feel like you were looking for something extra. What do you think? Good morning, Joseph. Always separate, right? Like, we're all adults here. We all have to pay our way. We've all had to work, and you might be retired now, or maybe you still work, and we're still slogging through it. I'm still slogging through it. Joe and I are both slogging through it. You know, our money is our money. We have bills. We have things to handle. We have to be responsible. We don't want to be responsible. We do not have unlimited funds. I know if someone is sponsoring my meal, I will be minimal in my order. There you go. Yes, the moocher people sometimes will just leave random amounts of money and even bail before the bill is completely paid. Used to happen all the time. It works, right? Like, I had a friend. Well, I still have a friend. And she would, bizarrely to me, leave her wallet, not be outside, like in the city, like without her wallet. I've known people that do this. Oh, I forgot my wallet. How the fuck did you forget your wallet? Like, how does that happen? Hey, Peggy, I don't even understand that. How does that happen? How in the hell did you forget your wallet? Did you enjoy last night, Hassan? That's wonderful. So I always go, no, I mean, come on. So it's come to me now where I'm almost like, I will at times I will try to carry cash if I'm going out with people, especially in a large group. If there's like a larger group of people, I will almost always carry cash with me because I don't want to go through it. And then people give you random amounts of cash. They kind of do some funny math in their head and they say, oh, CC Cat, it's happened. It's happened. They do this random math in their head of like, well, I had a salad, but then they forget about the steak and the appetizer they had along with a glass of wine. And then they randomly throw you like $15, $20 and their meal was like $40 without the tip. Because, you know, here in the U.S. we do tips. They do tips without the tax. Without the tax. That's the part that kills me. They say, well, the meal, my food was $19.95, and then they give you a $20. Did you add tax on that? Nobody's adding tax. Right? And plenty of change. Hey, Viking 180. Viking, those stuff that you put in Discord looks amazing. Listen, CC Cat, it's happened. I know, and I think it's even harder now because it's very rare that people would now walk without their phone. So how are you gonna forget your wallet? And that literally happened to me a couple of times, and I was like a little confused. And I'm like, but you got your phone. So what's the problem? Most places will take it. CV says, my credit is good with friends of 40 years. Just pay up, I'll get the next one. I don't even do it with family. I don't even, like family, I think a certain family I will, certain family I won't. Money makes people crazy. You know, and to be honest, I have to watch my nickels and quarters, because you know why? The Easy Pass, they be taking it. MTA, Easy Pass, tolls. Oh, I prefer to use card when I travel, as actual cash is hard to come by. That's true. It is true, but if I'm in a group setting like that, I try to do, I don't know. It's like a thing. And I try to always, if I'm going out in a group setting, I will almost always be like, that's cool. We'll ask prior to like even ordering. Last week, me, my sister, and 2 children, girlfriends, went to lunch, and we were fighting about paying. Friends wanted to pay the entire bill, and they did. It was crazy. And there's times that I have paid for the entire bill, and I've had people pay for my bill. And I'm absolutely so appreciative, and I try to be so gracious when people do that for me, because that's a blessing. And then I do try to give that back. Angela, can you do it with your sister? Is she good for it? My sister is good for it. My sisters wouldn't, no, they wouldn't do that to me. But you know, I got brothers. And honestly, the brothers, they would be like, yeah. I'm just saying out there. And they could watch my channel. I don't even think they know that I have a channel, but if they were watching it, it's the damn truth. I would not do that with them. I would not. I would always carry cash. Yeah, I would carry cash. Just telling you the truth. I smell like fresh bread, and it smells so damn good. I can't even explain to you how good it smells. Some families will fight over that. They will. They will. They get crazy, man. Okay, so that was the first one. So we're all in agreement. Separate. They always wanted to pay. We love and love them and know they are quite well off, and that's okay. But we all wanted to pay. I know. And see, that's nice. That's nice when it's like that. That's nice when it's like that. Because if they say, the part I don't get, I'll get this one, you get the next one. When's the next one? You know what I mean? When's the next one? That's my question. And if you don't mind it, then great. Then great. But that's the thing. When's the next one? And what if the next one, like, what if today we're getting coffee and sandwiches, and then the next one is steak and wine? How does that equal out? That doesn't equal out. You know what I mean? So that's that whole thing. I think we all just act like adults. Say, should we split the check? Let's just split the check. We'll make sure we get separate checks. You know, I prefer that. I think that's the best way to do it. Yeah, or somebody pays and you say, can I please get the tip? May I please get the tip, you know? Hey, Szabados. Good morning, Petra. And how many siblings do you have? I have 5 siblings. So there were 6 kids in our family. You prefer to split the check 20-80? Is soup a meal? If that's not, oh my God, this is totally like Seinfeld, but it really does happen. It turns into a whole thing. It turns into a whole thing for real. It's like massively crazy. People get upset. George is getting upset. Okay. Wait, what is that at? I don't want that there. Okay, we gotta flip it this way. Close it, go back. Okay, so we gotta go to the next question. Okay, ready for the next question, guys? Next question. By the way, if you're just coming in, we're doing advice columns because my local online newspaper, the West Side Rag, started or just published a column that was advice columns, and it's called Ruthless Advice. So we're reading them today, and we're having a conversation about it. You guys ready? All right, next one. Dear Ruthless, our building has a basement library full of books, relinquished by tenants, most of whom whom have too many to begin with. That is like every New Yorker's dilemma. I swear to God. We all have books, and it's like all of a sudden we live in a damn library. You have 5 kids? Yeah. It's such a nice way to share resources. I always return books I've borrowed, especially anything recent. I've noticed lately that all of the newest card covers and bestsellers are disappearing and not coming back. I was recently invited to a gathering at a new neighbor's apartment, and you'll never guess. They are all on her bookshelf, held together by bookends, like they now live there permanently. Do I say something to her? To the others? It really bugs me. Signed, Outraged on Riverside. Ooh, on Riverside. Guys, I live on Riverside. I live by Riverside. Ooh. Ooh. Hey, Lori C. What the hell? This is why I love it, because it's like local. Oh, go to the hospital, Cece, to get your infusion. We'll catch us up later. I know this is all in my neighborhood. That's why I think this is hilarious. Call the police, says Ambrose. All right, well, these are the responses from Cindy and Karen, the ruthless advice givers. Okay. Dear Outrage, this is from Cindy. Cindy's advice is, a note posted in the library can possibly do the trick while keeping you anonymous. Please return recent releases so all can enjoy. Or, over the next few weeks, ask to borrow 1 book at a time and return it to the library. Karen says, don't ever invite that neighbor into your home. She'll steal your silver. Karen, I'm dead. You guys need to check my bookshelves. Oh my God, it's not me, guys. I just go to the library and borrow them, and then I don't return them. Oh my God. Oh my God, yeah, so they can book them. What silver? I find that freaking hilarious. So this lady, now this actually does happen. We have, in our lobby, and a lot of buildings, like small buildings, you know what I mean? Like, I guess ours is kind of a small building. I think we have maybe like 40 apartments in it. Some people, they're like standalones, okay? It's so funny. So in our lobby area, now our building dates to over 100 years old. So our lobby has like a fireplace that used to work but no longer and all that stuff. So we have like a mantle. I'd ask, when are you putting the books back, says Viking. Oh my God. And so what we do is, if we no longer want something that's small, okay, not talking massive furniture, but something small, such as books or magazines or, I don't know, random bits and bobs and stuff, we will place it on the mantle. Now, everybody knows anything on the mantle is up for grabs, okay? It's not a library. It's up for grabs. Szabados, I'm so glad. Oh, hi, Mika. Like a globe, right? Like there was a globe. I have the globe. Where is that globe? Did we get rid of the globe? I don't even know where the globe is. Okay. So anyway, I put books down there when I've had to clean off my shelf, things like that. I put random movies down there that I am not going to have, like videotape. I don't even have like a VCR anymore. What am I doing with videotapes? You know what I mean? They would just think things in the hallway. Yeah, but this goes downstairs in the lobby on the mantle or by the mantle. Because sometimes people will put a lamp down there. I think my interior decorator got rid of the globe. I think so. Like an air conditioner. No, that just stays in the hallway. But that happens. So this person says that they have basically what's like a library area where people can put their books down there for others to share, and they take a book, read it, and then they put it back. Now, maybe this is my question, is she new? Does she not realize that that's not a free-for-all? Like, this isn't your shopping area? And 2, if it is supposed to be returned, are there signs posted? Like, take a book, read, and return or exchange. kind of thing like that. Because we have friends that at one point, now this is way back in the day when we first moved here, that I started a book club with a friend. Okay. I know, guys. I know. You guys are all like, Ange started a book club. Yes. Hi, Dee. And it was because we were part of another group that kind of just petered out, and we decided we still wanted to get together. And so we started a book club. And then all of a sudden people actually started joining the book club. Unbeknownst, I didn't even read. Yeah, what if she reads in the bathroom? They probably all do. Well, they all do that with the library books. But anyway. Anyway. So the person goes to this apartment because she had a little gathering, and she sees all the books on the woman's shelves. Would I say something? Yes, absolutely. I'm sure there's somebody in the apartment building that kind of heads things up, runs things. Is there a super that does this? Who takes care of the library? Like, somebody's got to be like making sure it's kind of together, wouldn't you think? So whoever that is, I would be going to them saying, how do we know, like, when new people, tenants come in, that they don't just take the books? She can keep them, Fafa, and probably some page missing. Oh no, those books look familiar. Or Reese while eating. Have had one. I know. This is giving me phlegm. Right? I know. Like when people eat over their book, remember? I don't think they do that. These look brand new. But I think the sign thing would work. Please return the books after reading, kind of thing. And the best part to me is that she takes all the books and then she acts like nobody's gonna notice. Like no one's gonna notice that you have all the books in your room and stuff. Like, did you think that was there? Or when you don't have a Sears and Roebuck's catalog. Okay, or here's the question. This is probably what I would have asked. Because you guys know me, I'm kind of snarky. I would probably see the books on the shelf. And then I would say, oh, I saw that book downstairs in the library. And I was going to read it, but I see that you're reading it right now. Well, let me know when you return it so I can then read it. I would make a conversation about it. That's what I would probably do. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be a librarian. But you know what I mean? Like I would make conversation in regard, I would sit there and I'd ponder it a little bit in my head. And then I would make a comment. And then if they lied and said, oh, no, I bought that book. You would just steal the book back, Ambrose. You probably would. Or if they said they lied and they said they bought the book. Then I'd make a comment about another book. I'm like, oh, really? Because I was going to read that book, and it's a wild how you have the same books. And I would make it known. And then you would know that that person's a liar. And then you would never, ever invite them to your apartment because they would steal the silver or your favorite coffee mug. Hey there, Bonnie. No more taking of books, read in lobby only. I know. Jeffrey, I've seen them here on the West Coast where it says take one, leave one. Yeah, they have a lot of little free libraries, like in neighborhoods that say take a book, leave a book kind of thing. That makes it less confrontational. But you know me, I'm all about confrontation, which causes people anxiety, I guess. People get very twisted because I don't like the passive. I mean, if you want to, I guess I'm not confrontational. I just don't appreciate passive aggressive. You wanted to be a librarian, but I'm too noisy. You gab a lot. Yeah. I know. For a library, you actually have to learn like a lot of stuff to be a librarian. More than we knew. Therefore, it's not just yeah, I guess they got to learn a lot of stuff. I don't know why. Like, how many times are you talking to the librarian? Not that often. But I did like that question. All right, Mika, you go and have a good one. The library sciences. Yeah. Library sciences are everything, right? Okay, next one. Okay, here's another one. Now, I was a library director for a brief while. Oh my God, they kicked you off. Is that what happened, Treaton? I have a feeling. Yes, there's a whole catalog method. I know, I can't. The catalog method, I don't get it. Okay, oh, I don't want Siri. No, don't use Siri. Okay. All right, next question to Ruthless. A Dewey Decimal System for building books. I would just use them as Legos. Okay, dear Ruthless, I just joined the PTA at my kid's school, and it feels like Mean Girls. I'm having horrible flashbacks to my own high school experience. My husband told me to drop it, but I want to be involved. Any advice? Panicked mom. They have frown on you smoking near the books. Yeah, exactly. Hi, Alexander. Now, okay, so has any of you guys actually joined the PTA or those parent groups, or the parent groups, or for band? I got a regular teaching job, so I have to leave the smart mouth. Oh. Hi there, Diana. How are you? Please let me know what knee brace you're using. I really need one. Thank you. I will post it because I can't remember the name of it right now. And it's actually, I think it says, I don't know if it's Incredible or something like that, but I'll let you know. Okay, Diana? The one I use, or any of the ones I use, has stays. Like, they have, like, you know how you would wear like a bustier and they have stays in them, like the plastic stays inside. These have stays in the back, so they help keep it a little more strengthened. Those are the ones I like. But I'll post you the ones I have. Okay, so good morning, Haas. I was in PTA committee for both for primary and secondary for your son. Oh, awesome. Okay. So dear Panicked, Cindy's advice is there are PTA people and non-PTA people. It is okay to be either. If you, like me, found these meetings intolerable but still want to contribute, be a worker bee and sign up for the occasional class trip or bake some brownies. Let someone else argue about whether they have to put in individual sealed wrappers. That's a good one. And Karen says, joining the PTA is a great way to meet people. It's irrelevant to the actual success of your kid's experience. If the moms are horrific, run. This is a great opportunity to model for your child that they don't need to put up with bullies just for the sake of fitting in. Take yourself to the movies. Okay, so let's talk about this. What are your experiences with PTA? Okay. Teachers and librarians are my favorite people. I bow in your direction. Treaton, says Chris. Okay, Hassan, go eat lunch. Hopefully it's all wonderful. Ha says, yes, I was the PTA president turned PTA of my niece's school. My goodness. Oh my God. Let me tell you guys. Hey, Lori Malore, how are you? We're talking advice columns. Okay, so how about take your kids to the movies? I did that too. So here's the thing. I was involved with the PTA. No, I wasn't on the board or any of that bullshit, okay? But I was involved, and I did go to the meetings. I had more issues with the admin of the school more than the parents. Thankfully, we did not have cliques. I'm going to tell you, at my son's school, when he was little, now the schools he went to were public, but when he was little, from like kindergarten through 8th grade, he went to our local public school. Okay, and I lived in White Bear Lake, Minnesota. Everybody look it up. You can find out who was what, when it was, and all those people. And some of them may even watch me. I have not a clue, and I don't really care. But anyway, thanks for watching. But anyway, when he went there, I was part of that group. Now, when he went to high school, he still was going to a public school, but he was going to an arts public school, which was 45 minutes from our house. I drove him every day. I was not involved in any PTA. That was mostly run by the kids, which I truly appreciated. Thank the Lord. But when he was part of the elementary school, I decided I was going to do this so I could get out I could join things. And it was more or less to do things for him and be involved in the school and to meet people, you know? But I will tell you, they was clicky. Clicky, click, 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 click. It sounded like a bunch of Legos clicking together. It was click, 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 click. Swear to God. I swear. And they were kind of mean girls. It was kind of like everybody who had the huge, like they were popular in high school, went to that high school, stayed in that area, never left the area. They lived and breathed White Bear Lake. And I never understood it. I didn't understand it. I wasn't the one who fit in. I was always the one who was doing something else. You find that so immature. Oh yeah, they were so cliquey. And I didn't take any. You had to have kids. Well, a lot of people do. But oh my God, that kid is ugly. Look at. A lot of kids. Jolie says, I taught professor kids for a while. Kids were great. Professors, not so much. Oh my God. Yes, Ange, the parent who helped me in my classroom always stated that it was cliquey. That's so crazy. Not with the parents I was involved with. Again, the admin was a nightmare. Especially when we switched from PTO. I don't even know what the difference is between PTO and PTA. It's I don't even know. I was like, whatever. The only thing I really wanted to help with were a couple of things. One was like their big festival they did. We would do some games. I would organize baskets because they'd have a silent raffle for that. Things like that. Okay. Which was a big job. So I would try to, I don't know why. I always decided to take on these massive jobs for stuff. And we would get involved. Whatever. But it was fine. People liked us. It's not like they didn't like us, but you could tell that they were kind of cliquey and they would go do stuff. And there was always some kind of rumors. Like, you know, rumors. And not so much with the teachers, sometimes with the admin. Because I think it was the students, the teacher, the parents were trying to kiss up to the admins so that their student would get preferential treatment. PTO is local. Admin has more control. PTA is a national org and the rules are different. Grassroots versus national. Oh, are they? Then I guess it was PTO because it was local. It is always the people that have time to volunteer to be the most cliquey. Yeah, I didn't have like a ton of time, but I had some time. A lot of them. They always look down upon you if you don't have a lot of money or if you lived in a certain thing. Yeah, it was crazy. Like they all lived in the same neighborhood. And it was like the new neighborhood. And like we lived in an older area of town, but it actually wasn't, it was like the older area of town, but it wasn't like a new subdivision. You know what I mean? So I don't know if that made a difference and stuff. It was bizarre. Unfortunately, I was never able to join the platform. I was always working, but I always supported in every way needed for the kids. Yeah, that's totally cool. Yeah, you always was the teacher's pet. No, I was not the teacher's pet. No. Joe could be the teacher's pet. Joe was like the teacher's pet. Everybody loved Joe. Joe was like, oh, everybody loves Joe. Until you got to deal with him all the time. My advice for this person is if you want to help out, help out. You don't have to deal with that stuff. Like, life is too short to deal with that kind of crazy stuff. I'm so glad, Haas, that you had a totally different experience. But when he got older, and he was in, well, when he was in junior high, it was different. I didn't join any of that stuff because I was working. And then when he went to high school, most of the stuff was run by the students because then you have student council. Yeah, Joe loves being loved. Absolutely. You got kicked out in the hall even in typing class, Lori? Lori, I would skip my typing class. Actually, I wouldn't even take the test. Like sometimes when they would do typing, because I had to take typing And shorthand, do you remember that? Shorthand. I took typing and shorthand on 2 different semesters because I needed to fill an hour for a class because it was in the middle of the day and I couldn't just have a not an hour, like an hour of nothing in the middle of the day. If you had it at the end of the day, you could possibly leave early, but they didn't let you do it in the middle. So I had to fill an hour. And so I knew that those were blow-off classes, and then they would come around, and I remember my teacher coming up to me and they're like, Angela, you need to take this test. And I said, no, I don't. I actually said that. Fun fact, I was a crazy student. Every extra sim surprise that my profession was teaching, they would call my sis and the Virgin Mary Lucifer's girlfriend. I can't. You were Lucifer's girlfriend, Diana? I can relate. The quick red fox jumps over the lazy brown dog. Yeah. They would actually say, you have to take this time. I'm like, no. Yeah, it was elective. And I was like, and then you know what? They passed me. They just passed me. They're like, go on. Okay. That's how bad I was. I was like that kind of student because things came easy to me back then. Did I have to work from? Yeah, I did. But, it wasn't like they say, it wasn't rocket science, okay? And I remember when Joe met me, and I would have like a shorthand thing I had to do. He'd be like, Angela, you got to do your homework. And I'm like, Joseph. I would tell him, I go, Joe, it's fucking shorthand. What are you talking about? I said, nobody's going to be using shorthand in the coming years. Let's just get real. Right, Jolie? I mean, that's what it was for me too. It was during my senior year. And do you really think I was going to buckle down and worry about those? If you could read this, right? Nobody even uses that, the stupid squiggles. People can't even read cursive now, but you're going to tell me they're going to try and read shorthand. I remember the teachers were so adamant. They were so adamant that it was going to be so important for your life. And I just kept looking at them like, do you really think so? You remember when typing was all about how fast you could type? Like, nobody cares. Isn't that funny? How that also, it's so funny how they made that so imperative. Like, you have to type fast. Ooh, look at little doggy. I know, they don't even teach cursive, Bonnie. There could be a class to read Lori's typos. I have 100 words in shorthand and 60 words in typing. I don't even know. I know I can type fast, but nobody types the way they used to type. Nobody's typing essays. Your first job required shorthand? She was ready to crucify you, Diana? That's so funny. I know, I worked in a school for 31 years and there's a lot of things they don't even teach. It's sad because then when you tell kids to sign your name, they don't know what you mean. I know, a typo. Yeah. I mean, Josh knows. He's a millennial, but he knows. I don't know what happens now. Yes, Treaton would pass the class of learning Lori's typos. It's called interpretation. You know. You're an interpreter. Treaton's the interpreter here for Lori. But honestly, I just kind of crack up at that. The whole typing, shorthand thing. The younger generation has a problem with what is 2:45. It's 2:45. I know. It's kind of crazy, right? Okay, now I haven't even read all of these yet, guys, so we're going through this. Oh, this is a good one. He would be a star pupil Treaton, for sure. Have to admit Ange would be up there too. I just kind of look at it and go, okay, this has got to be what she meant. That's what I think it is. Okay. Okay, are we ready for the next question? This is the last one for the day. Right now, they probably can't even tell time on the clock because they look at their phone. Well, I don't know. I mean, then they should teach that. I don't know why they don't teach that. That should be something taught. I would hope that they teach that. For real. That's scary, Bonnie. Okay, next question. Now, this has to do with work. You ready? Okay, it says, my work, this is Dear Ruthless. My work wife is starting to expect more than my actual wife. Now, this is the thing I don't understand, but anyway. She insists we eat lunch together every day and makes me feel guilty if I'm not available for team drinks. I don't think she has designs on me, but I feel suffocated. Signed, henpecked at the office. All right. Here's the answers. Dear henpecked. Karen responds, boundaries are your friends, set them. The sentence, I can't do lunch every day, comes to mind. If she's truly a friend, she'll get it, and if she doesn't, you may consider a work divorce. Cindy says, what is a work wife anyway? Is it a colleague that does the work you don't want to do, like your real wife probably does? I mean, oh, forget it. As a writer who often works at home, I consider my lunchtime sacrosanct. I like to eat and read my non-work book, which is more often than not a Scandinavian crime novel. If my real husband happens to be working from home, I make it very clear that not only do I not want to make his lunch, I don't want to eat with him. I don't even want him to make eye contact. Put on your big boy pants and let your colleague know that lunch is not only your work break, but hers as well. Your advice is not to overthink this stuff too much, this house account. I encourage outside wife. I never understand that. I don't understand that. And stuff. Diana says, oh my God, I had a work husband, and whenever we would order, they would make him pay for me, and he would not. He would? Oh, he would? Oh my God. Diana, that's some funny shit. That's funny shit. You got like free lunch. I crack up. I don't understand the whole people who refer to things as work wife, work husband, stuff like that. I get many people do. I mean, even Treaton does. She says outside wife. But I don't use that phrase. I've never used that phrase. I don't know when they're going to stop that working from home. I don't know why that ever comes. I think it's pretty what? Actually, they're stopping the working from home in a lot of companies. So everybody has to now start going back into the office because they're finding that they think that more productive and more creative things happen within the work. You think because we spend so much time together. True, I get that. But for me, the phrase, I just don't like. I don't appreciate. Because I feel like the phrase husband-wife is something a little more precious than to just be flung about saying work wife, work husband, because nobody's going to replace my husband. Do you know what I mean? That's just my vibe. And I'm not trying to be fuddy-duddy about it. I'm just saying that's my vibe. It's pretty bad that people can stay at home and work from home and still get paid. That's not bad. I think it's okay. I lost my work husband. He moved to be closer to his boyfriend. That's so funny. No house account. No. But I get it. People like that phrase. People like that kind of, that's where they classify them. That's awesome. Great. Laurie says, I feel the same on those terms too. Bonnie says, some jobs it's fine, even better. No, I get that, Joe. I think the same thing too. Like, what is that? Those look like parts of a building. Like the building's already put together. Isn't that bizarre? I'm all distracted by this. Like, what building downtown is that going to? Right? Like the building's put together with the window in it. Like the window is installed. I wouldn't normally refer to him like that, but I don't use names in chat. No, that's totally cool. His wife was not happy whenever we would go for drinks after work. She would tell for his work wife to pay for him. Oh my God. He actually is listed as an emergency contact for your children. Well, that's a friend. You need to know your husband and wife and if they like those terms or not. True. Concept is fine to have try to work. Listen, I've had this problem. It's not like work wife or work husband. I've had this problem with people that I've worked with. So I've had it where friends. So when you go into offices and stuff like that, there's not a lot of people to wait on because everybody's working from home. True. But here's the thing. I've had it where I would work. And then lunchtime would roll around and they would always expect to do something for lunch. And I was like, I didn't always want, oh, there goes the little dog again. He just was by here earlier. But I didn't like that. I didn't like always having to be, like, as I would say, boxed in. Yeah, Din Din, I think that's where it comes in. Some people get very attached. And then they don't realize what the boundary is. They just assume like it's a set thing. Like lunch is a set thing or stuff. Or because maybe like the work wife or the work husband, like they don't have other people in their life. And so now they depend on that person. And then like after work, they're depending on entertainment and then they want to have lunch. And then they end up dealing more with that person than actually their family. To me, that's bananas. You never went out with the group, things after work? Yeah. But in this scenario, the person needs to watch it that they're not getting too attached. Yeah, so that's the kind of thing I had. Like I had people like friends that just always expected to have lunch. And to me, I was like, why do we always have to have lunch? Every time I had lunch, I went in my car and ate and didn't want to eat around a lot. I didn't want to go to my car. Sometimes I'd run errands and then go pick up food and stuff, but I would never just go eat in my car. I always felt like that was a little too like sad for me. I was mostly by myself on breaks with people. I wanted to downtime. Yeah, I would try to not even go into the break room. Our wife at home pestering and bugging me is enough. One wife at home, don't need one at work also. Listen, wives don't pester and bug. We just keep you guys on track. Let's get it straight. Right, Viking? For real. I prefer to be at home with the family after work, not with the people I just spent the workday with. Well, that's me too. That was me too. You know, because sometimes work, they start adding like these things. Oh, we're going to get together. We're going to create a community of people at work. I think that work forgets. I do. I think that sometimes the company, and then it'd be like, it's company sponsored. And this is also where I get it, like, when they start doing too many company sponsored things, stop it. Because the person then feels like if they don't do the company sponsored thing, then they're going to be missing out some way, somehow. You know what I mean? So now they have to do that. So not only are they putting in their 40 plus hours a week or whatever their hours are, now they have to go to this company sponsored non-pay thing because it's supposed to create like the work community. I occasionally eat lunch in the car. Sometimes you need a break to break through. Yeah, I would leave. I would either go for a walk, leave, do something. I would take my car somewhere else. That's what I would do. I don't even care if it was across the street. I didn't care if it was down the road. I would go somewhere. I would go home. Because when I worked at one of the newspapers, I literally lived 2 minutes from the office. I would get in my car and I would go home. And I was in sales, so... And then when I became the director, I would go home and I would actually work from home. I would work in the morning, be in the office, then I would go home, work for like, I swear to God, 2-3 hours at home, have lunch, chill, then I'd go back to work for a couple more hours, and then I'd go home. I agree, Jolie. I think all of that was too much, because you know why? You're in the break room, they would come get you. And kind of job when I had, when you left for lunch, you had to call out and then call back in. It was, oh no. I think I tried to choose jobs that I didn't have to do that. Like when I did work for Macy's downtown, you could leave, but you had such little time. Done with my coffee. You had such little time that it was really hard. Oh God, something else happening in Jersey. We had North Carolina the other day. I only had 20 minutes for lunch, so you went in the break room and ate your lunch. See, to me, that's not enough. What is this 20-minute thing? Like scarf your food? It takes 10 minutes to get it ready. You know, I find Din, a lot of people have that problem. Hang on, let me get up so we can walk. Here we go. Okay. Din, I agree. I think so many people have that problem of, even though they're not working, it's after hours, or it's at lunch, or whatever it might be. Like, they forget that it's not work. Let's not talk about work. Like, they forget that they have other things going on. And we've gone to events where sometimes people, all they want to do is talk about work. Let me chuck this. Please don't litter. I'm not littering, see? I threw it away. You had an hour lunch, library nearby, walked or shopped there. See? Or your food up, trying to make your little sandwich. I know. With UPS, oh, James, I don't know how UPS drivers deal with that. We don't park and have lunch. We power through, we eat on the go. I don't know how you UPS drivers function. I give you guys credit. UPS got you on a timer, got you on they got you tagged and everything. You had a half hour. It's crazy. I know. When I worked at Macy's, like, you really couldn't, you didn't have that much time between. And you had to, clock out and clock back in, which was pain. So you'd be clocking out and then you'd be running out the door because they were on you because you had to clock in. That's why I liked working either my own schedule, where I ran festivals and such, and did my own contract work, which is kind of what I do now. Not as much as I used to, but I still do it. I just choose my jobs. Or I worked for the newspapers in marketing and advertising. I know, I feel like there's a lot of jobs. This is what I predict. A lot of jobs go by the wayside, and those industries get decimated because they're not ready for it. So my next thing here, because of Waymo and all the self-driving cars, is going to be the taxi and the Ubers. Like, Uber shook up the taxi services, and now Uber is just about ready to go bye-bye. I have a feeling. But anyway, the whole thing about the work wife and the work husband, I get some people, that's how they, title people or describe them. But if somebody is going to try to box me in that I have to have lunch every day, that's a lot. That's a lot to deal with every day. I don't know if I could do every day. Every day is a lot. Our house must be the lunch zone. We always have mailman, UPS drivers, etc. eating lunch here. That's funny. Are you feeding them, no treating? That's the question. Are you feeding them all? That's what we want to know. Yeah, our people, they got too much other places to go to. They really, really do. They have a tight schedule and a lot of shit to deliver here in New York City. I'm always amazed at how they get it around. This is your 16th year, maybe 4 more. Ask him about all the tickets. Oh my God, the tickets you guys got. Guys, was that annoying? That was totally annoying for me. Like, the thing has wheels. Can you tip the bag? Can you tip the cart and use the wheels? Like, why are we trying to make it sound like nails on a chalkboard? That is insane. Like, I can't make it up. People be like, she's literally just dragging it down the road. It was so loud. A friend of mine wants to go on your next cruise. I told her she has to be subscribed, a member, and give you her first foreign child, which is 4 years old now. Oh my God. Oh my God, you were so funny. Yes, dear. Listen. Yes, I will let you guys know when the next cruise is coming, when we do a next Yo Ang cruise. And yes, I will try and get some either promo deal or something from whoever we decide to go with. You know, I'll see what I can do. Yeah, Fafo does gab a lot. Fafo be delaying everybody's UPS up where they live. The UPS, the FedEx, you know, all those delivery services, even Seamless and whatever the hell else they have, is all. I'll see if I can get her to give you tequila instead of her kid. Yeah, I'll take the tequila. Preferably in little bottles so we can smuggle them in. Thanks, Bonnie. But I'll let everybody know when that happens. We go pick up all of the cruise certificates this coming month. I think the first one is this weekend. I think it's this weekend. I don't know. I have to double check. I'll make a list. Because I know somebody had asked me, because a lot of people here that watch the channel may live in the area or the general vicinity. Fafo is definitely not an introvert. He is a Mr. Social Butterfly. That should be no problem. She's good at smaller nippers. Yeah, he is a social butterfly. But like, for real, I'm gonna post it because I know we have like a lot of people that watch from the area, like PA, you know, all over the place. New York, Jersey. It might be Borgata. I got them all confused. I get them all confused, Al. So I know I have to go to Borgata. I have to go to Resorts. I have to go to Wind Creek. There's another one somewhere in there, but it's like 4 or 5 certificates that I have to go pick up, and they're all on fucking different days. Yes, and I will see if they can give us a group deal. Either that or it's like onboard credit, which is always nice. Dee, you go on your cruise this Sunday? Oh my God, I'm so happy for you. Enjoy, relax. Even if they switch up the thing, because depending on where you're going, you know, if there's going to be a storm, you got to remember cruise ships can steer around them. They can alter their course, and that's what they do. So they keep all the passengers safe. Listen, the cruise ships want to keep you safe. That, you know, they need to keep you spending money. So you'll be safe and stuff. And you just enjoy. Like, we even had a day where it was rainy and a little stormy outside. Joe took that time, and he enjoyed sitting on the back of the boat and watching the storm, which was actually very cool. I went out there back there and we were all just cuddled up on this whole like lounge area with towels, and the guy kept coming to see if we needed anything else. It was a great time. It's one of the most memorable times we had on the cruise, sitting on the back just watching the storm. Because when do you ever get to see something like that? Not very often. I don't live on the water. But I will definitely let everybody know. Oh, look. Wait. Street sweeper. Carrie saw you had a great time. I think he might do one, hopefully. Well, Jolie, I'll keep you updated. I think you would enjoy it. I know if you guys go on one while we're on it, you'll definitely enjoy it, hopefully. We keep everything very loose. We don't commit people to things because everybody, you're on vacation too. You know? I don't want to be overtaking plans for people. Never want to do that. Anyway, guys, this was Strange Conversations. Let me know what, if any, advice columns you read. Do you read Reddit? Reddit has tons of these. I mean, I follow one person, she's Canadian. Her name is Charlotte Dobre. And I follow her, and she usually reads something about bridezillas and stuff like that, which I always find very interesting. Hi, Mark. But I find them funny, like wild stories. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of cool when you can go on a trip like that, but you don't have to have the commitment of having to be with somebody, another group or another couple or another thing 24/7. You know, like I think the biggest thing that we did on the cruise is we would, since we were in the same area, we would get up and then we would just go to have breakfast, and then people would kind of filter in or see you on the back of the ship. That was our first spot to go to, so we would probably see everyone. And then we'd sit there and have a little chat. What are you going to do today? What are you going to do today? And everybody did whatever they wanted. And sometimes they invited you to go do something. Would you like to go do this? Yeah, I think that. It was a great way to touch base. And then we would all go off and do our own thing. And then I'd say, hey, do we want to meet up for dinner? If not, let me know. And some people might have reservations for something else. But I said, if you're up for it, let me know. And I'm going to make sure I check everybody in for dinner at around this time. And then I was like, one person was designated as the check-in person. And that was me. And then I would check everybody in for dinner. And then they would let me know. And I say, okay, table's ready. Blah, 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 blah. And it worked out perfectly. We are a go on your own group, do whatever you want. Yes, it's good to have several people with you, breaks things up, had fun last week. I know, Joseph Q, you look like you had so much fun. Reddit, great Toronto stories on them. Really? Ooh, Mark, you're gonna have to share those with us. I would love to know and stuff. Anyway, guys, go have a good Tuesday. This was fun. It was a good Strange Conversations. I might find some more of these for our things because I think they're very interesting sometimes. Because everybody has problems like this or has questions like this, you know, what do you do if they want to split the bill? What do you do if there's like a work wife that just won't stop being a freaking work wife? You know, those things, I think those are interesting. Anyway, have a good one. Thank you so much for your support, and I'll see you guys later.